Warm greetings to my dear students. As you all know, we are continuing with the chapter nervous system and we are doing structure of brain, in which we have completed forebrain, and today in this video we'll start with midbrain. So this yellow portion is known as forebrain and this pink portion is the midbrain and this blue portion is known as hindbrain. So you can see that it extends from pons to diencephalon. This is pons and this is diencephalon. So its extension is from pons to diencephalon and it forms the beginning of the brain stem. This is known as brain stem. So it marks the beginning of the brain stem. So the brain stem continues to form spinal cord. Midbrain is also known as mesencephalon. And what are the functions of mesencephalon? Movement of eyes, auditory and visual processing. And midbrain is further divided into corpora quadrigemina and cerebral peduncle. Corpora quadrigemina, it has quadruplet bodies. That means it has 4 colliculi. 2 are superior and 2 are inferior. And corpora quadrigemina forms the posterior part of midbrain and its tectum contains 4 little lobes. These colliculi, they are the small swellings. And what is the function of corpora quadrigemina? It receives stimuli related to vision and hearing. Second comes cerebral peduncle. Peduncle means foot, so it forms the foot of the cerebrum. It is also known as crura cerebri, which means bundle of fibers, and there are 2 symmetrical tracts of nerve fibers at the base of midbrain which links pons and cerebral hemispheres. Let's look into the diagram. These are the 2 hemispheres. This is the right hemisphere, this is the left hemisphere, and this is pons. So there are 2 symmetrical tracts of nerve fibers coming from right hemisphere and left hemisphere, and they are symmetrical in nature, and they link the 2 cerebral hemispheres to pons. They link cerebral hemispheres to pons, so that is known as crura cerebri. So what is the function of cerebral peduncle? It helps in transporting nerve impulses from parts of brain to other areas of central nervous system. Now we have done forebrain, midbrain. Let's come to hindbrain. Hindbrain is also known as rhombencephalon and it marks the terminal or posterior part of the brain. It consists of cerebellum, pons varolai and medulla oblongata. Let's look into the diagram. This marks the hindbrain, the blue portion. These are the parts of hindbrain. This is cerebellum, this swollen part is known as pons and this is known as medulla oblongata. So these are the 3 parts of hindbrain. Now let's come to cerebellum. Cerebellum means little brain. So you can see in the diagram, this is cerebellum. It forms the second largest part of the brain. First one is the cerebrum, you all know, and the second largest part is the cerebellum. And it lies below the occipital part of cerebral hemisphere. This is the occipital part and it lies below the occipital part. So this is cerebellum and it has also 2 hemispheres, right cerebellar hemisphere and left cerebellar hemisphere. Now it is the part of the brain at the back of skull and it has grey matter on surface and white matter in the central part. This is the longitudinal section of cerebellum. So dorsal side of cerebellum is well developed. Dorsal means posterior or back. So back side of cerebellum is well developed. And what are the 2 main functions of cerebellum? First, maintenance of posture or equilibrium. What do you mean by posture? Posture is the position in which you hold yourself while standing or sitting. Second function is coordination of muscular body movements. Now second part of hindbrain is pons varoli. Pons means bridge. So it is the large middle part of the brain stem, and it is a thick band of transverse nerve fibers located above medulla and below midbrain. You can see this swollen part is pons. It is located below midbrain and above medulla. This is medulla. So it is located below midbrain and above medulla. And it is a thick band of transverse nerve fibers. It joins the lobes of brain and other parts of brain, and it is formed of white matter. And it contains pneumotaxic center. Pneumotaxic center is a center which helps to maintain alternating inspiration and expiration. That means it controls rate of breathing. And other function is it also sends impulses to cerebellum. Now this is the third part of hindbrain, which is medulla oblongata. It is a long stem-like structure. Let's look into the diagram. It is a long stem-like structure, and it is the part of brainstem. It forms the brainstem, and it continues to form spinal cord. So it is the posterior most part of brain, and it is triangular and located between pons and spinal cord. This is pons, and it will continue to form spinal cord. So it is the portion between spinal cord and pons, which is medulla oblongata. And it is responsible for involuntary functions. Involuntary means that are not under our control. That means heartbeat, respiration, or movement of food in esophagus, which is food pipe. And the cavity of medulla oblongata is known as metacele. What are the functions of medulla oblongata? It has cardiac center and respiratory center. So cardiac center controls heartbeat and respiratory center controls respiration, and it also controls coughing, sneezing, vomiting, swallowing. It also contains vasomotor center to control peristaltic movement in alimentary canal. What are the peristaltic movements? These are the contractions and relaxations of food in the esophagus. Esophagus is food pipe. So what is vasomotor center? It is a portion of medulla oblongata in the brainstem that together with cardiovascular center and respiratory center, it regulates blood pressure and other homeostatic processes. Homeostatic processes means to maintain constant internal environment. So now we have done with brain. In our next video, we'll start with spinal cord. That's it for now. Thank you so much.